Assalamualaikum and hi. Welcome to our microeconomic or known as Eco 162 video presentation. We are from group 1 MSc Muhammad 1B and we prepared this video for Madam Nolinda Tendut binti Abu Bakar. First, let's go to the introduction or the general overview of this presentation. Microeconomics issue that will be discussed is about the production of Proton X50. Since it was released, the demand for this car has already exceeded the producer expectation. Therefore, they need to set a new standard to meet customers' demand. The objective of this presentation is to explain about the theory and practices in microeconomics that is used in the production of Proton X50. At the end of this presentation, we will get to know how Proton can achieve success in solving this issue, which is meeting the customer's demand. Let's hear about Proton X50 before going deeper into this presentation. Proton X50 is a compact SUV produced by Proton, a well-established Malaysian automotive brand. It was launched in 2020 as a part of Proton's strategy to capture a larger market share in the growing SUV segment, particularly in Malaysia. The Proton X50 is built on the same platform as the Geely Coolray, which is part of the Geely Group, a Chinese multinational automotive company that owns a significant stake in Proton. Next slide is the table of the content or the flow of this presentation.
Let's talk about basic economic concept. There are three basic economic concepts: scarcity, choices, and opportunity cost. Every firm will having a scarcity, and because of the scarcity, they have to make choice. And the second best good that need to forgo is their opportunity cost. So for Proton, they are faces with challenges of scarcity due to limited resources such as raw material, land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. This scarcity forced Proton to make rational decisions how to allocate its resources efficiently in order to maximize profit and minimize cost. Proton has decided to focus on producing the Proton X50, and they need to sacrifice production of other models such as Proton X70. The opportunity cost in this decision is the Proton X70 and the other model that will not be produced as a result of the resources being directed toward the X50. So basically, the decision-making process in economic revolves around maximizing efficiency and minimizing the cost incurred in the pursuit of higher profit. Next is basic economic problem. The scarcity faced by the Proton is addressed through three fundamental economic questions, which is what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. So the first one is what to produce. Due to the limited resources, Proton must decide which vehicle model to prioritize. Given the higher demand for the Proton X50, Proton has chosen to focus its limited resources on producing the subcompact crossover SUV. This decision is based on consumer preference and market demand, ensuring that the company meets the needs of its target customer. Proton must also determine the optimal number of units being produced in order to satisfy this demand efficiently. The second one is how to produce. The production process involves making choices about the resources and technology used in manufacturing. Proton utilize a combination of labor, land capital, and entrepreneurship resources to produce the Proton X50. It might also select the most appropriate production method, such as technology, to ensure efficiency, cost effectiveness, and minimal waste. The company faced the challenges of balancing automations and human labor to maximize productivity while keeping costs low and meeting consumer expectation in terms of quality and features. Last one is for whom to produce. The target market for the Proton X50 is primarily middle-income consumer who seek a vehicle that combines luxury features with affordability. Proton must carefully analyze income level and purchasing power in order to set a market target that ensures that the X50 meet the need of customer segments. By focusing on the middle income group, Proton aims to deliver a product that provides good value, appealing to consumers who want a sophisticated yet cost-effective option.
Now let me explain about demand. Demand refers to the quantity of a product or service that people are willing and able to buy at a certain price. It is important to note that effective demand is when consumers not only desire the product but also have the financial means to purchase it. According to the law of demand, when prices rise, the quantity demanded decrease and vice versa. For instance, the Proton X50 garnered 8,000 bookings in just 1 month, demonstrating high demand. This demand can be attributed to several factors. The first factor is consumer preference. The car's modern design and features make it highly attractive. Next one is income level. As income increases, consumers are more likely to purchase cars. Last but not least is the price. If Proton reduces the price, demand may rise further as the car becomes more affordable. Next, let me explain about supply, which represents the quantity of a product that producers are willing and able to sell at different prices over a given period. According to the law of supply, when prices increases, the quantity supplied also increases, and vice versa. Producers are motivated to supply more when they can earn higher profit. For example, although Proton received 8,000 bookings for the X50, its production limitation could result in a shortage of supply. This may lead to longer waiting times for customers or even higher prices. Thus, supply plays a vital role in meeting and demand, and any imbalance can significantly affect the market condition. Moving on to elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand measures how sensitive the quantity demanded is to changes in price or other factor. First, price elasticity of demand (PED) means if demand is inelastic, consumer will continue purchasing regardless of price change. If demand is elastic, a price increase might deter buyer. Factors influencing PED include availability of substitute. More substitute leads to more elastic demand. Next is necessities versus luxuries. Necessities are inelastic, while luxuries are elastic. Lastly is time period. Demand is often inelastic in the short term but becomes elastic in the long term as consumer adjust. Next is income elasticity of demand (YED). This measures how demanded changes with consumers' income. Luxury goods have higher YED while necessities have lower YED. Additionally, consumer preference influence how income changes affect demand. Next is cross-elasticity of demand (XED). This examines how the price changes of one product affect the demand for another. Positive XED indicates substitutes, for example, tea and coffee. Meanwhile, negative XED indicates complement, for example, cars and fuel. Zero XED indicates unrelated goods. Elasticity helps businesses understand consumer behavior and adjusting pricing strategies accordingly. Price elasticity of supply (PES) measure how responsive producers are to price changes. Elastic supply means producer can quickly adjust production. Meanwhile, inelastic supply means producer face difficulty in adapting in price changes. There are a few factors that affecting PES. First is time period. Supply is inelastic in the short term but becomes more elastic in the long term as producers have time to adjust. Next is availability of resources. It means it is easily accessible resources result in elastic supplies, while specialized resources make supply inelastic. For Proton, if production resources are limited, the supply of the X50 will remain inelastic. It will leading to shortage and higher prices. Next, let me explain about market equilibrium. It is when the quantity demanded equals to the quantity supplied. At this point, the market price will remain stable. Shortage is if Proton can only produce 5,000 cars but there are actually 8,000 bookings. There will be a shortage of 3,000 cars. To address this, Proton might raise their prices, which will reduce demand and helps restore equilibrium. Next is surplus. It is if prices are too high, fewer people will buy the car, leading to surplus supply. To correct this, Proton may lower prices to attract more buyers, increasing demand and moving the market towards equilibrium.
How Proton increased their production? Proton has taken several strategic steps to increase production and meet the high demand for the Proton X50. The company has focused on enhancing its production capacity and supply chain efficiency while maintaining product quality. First one is automations and robotics. To speed up production and reduce human error, Proton has integrated automations and robotics technology into its manufacturing process. This allows for faster and more consistent assembly for Proton X50, improving efficiency and ensuring the timely production of vehicles. Second one is strengthening supplier relationship. Proton relies on both local and global supplier with a key partnership with Geely, an international automobile manufacturer. Through these collaborations, Proton gains access to Geely's advanced technology platform, improving the quality of components such as engines. Strengthening relationship with supplier ensures that Proton receive high quality parts on time, allowing for smoother productions and timely delivery for customers.
The third one is maximizing local component. By increase the use of local supplier, Proton not only support domestic productions but also reduce reliance on important components. This strategy helps to lower production costs, making the vehicle more affordable and further boosting the company's ability to scale up productions efficiently. The fourth one is increasing production shift. To further increase output without the need for significant investment in new infrastructure, Proton has implemented additional production shift. This allows the company to produce more vehicles during existing operational hours, addressing the high demand for the Proton X50 without major capital expenditure. The last one, worker training. To manage the higher production volume, Proton has invested in training for its manufacturing worker. This training ensures that workers are well equipped to handle new technologies, production method, and the increased complexity of assembling high demands model like the Proton X50.
To conclude everything, the report that we work on actually focus on understanding how microeconomics works in an individual vehicle company. Proton holds this high that can influence the production and pricing decisions for the Proton X50. The production of Proton X50 has been a significant step forward for the Malaysian automotive industry, marking Proton's entry into the highly competitive SUV market by the technological advancement and innovation. It represents that Proton is focused on innovation to satisfy the consumer's needs, also increasing the demand at once. From a macroeconomics perspective, this increase in demand reflects the positive response of the consumers, highlighting the elasticity of demand for Proton S50. By strategically maintaining this excellent performance, Proton can solidify its market position and use the S50 success to their advantages.
Other than that, producing X50 helped elevate Proton's reputation, demonstrating that it is capable of producing high-quality products according to the global standards. The successful launch of X50 has reshaped consumer perception of Proton as a brand, which gives a positive impact. Its success has not only enhanced Proton's market position, but also set a high standard for future models. Hence, it shows that this achievement will require Proton to address more upcoming challenges such as production capacity and meeting the consumers' high expectation of their latest or new product. On the other hand, if you look ahead in a positive way, this will provide a pathway for growth for Proton, increase in market shares, and also strengthen their position domestically and internationally for Proton as a brand. This will give them major advantages. Thus, Proton should continue their partnership with Geely that is strategic, as it will help Proton to expand its product range following the current trend and demand. For example, Proton can expand the product range by producing a bike or a scooter. All in all, the future holds a promising future for Proton as it continues to build on the X50 success. They can achieve long stability and growth in the marketplace of automotive industry as an individual vehicle company in Malaysia.
We all know Proton depends on global supplies for parts. Based on what we have critically discussed, we could recommend Proton to intertwine more connection with local suppliers. We are pretty sure there are many supply company out there that is willing to cooperate with Proton. Furthermore, this method would significantly decrease the cost needed for parts, including the delivery cost. Other than that, Proton would get their vehicle parts quicker as local suppliers would take less time to deliver those items. Next, Proton should always keep their machines up to date in order to have a much lesser time in production by furthering the technology used in machineries.
Furthermore, Proton must open more branches. With that, production can be faster and will be able to catch up with demand. Of course, opening more branches need more employees. Therefore, Proton can hire local graduation. With that, Proton don't need to spend more budget to hire outsider workers. Indirectly, it helps our economy to grow up. On top of that, Proton can optimize workforce. In my opinion, Proton need to send their employees to training program that can provide skill development for employees to work more efficiently. Also, they can manage work scheduling efficiently, optimize shift pattern to ensure uninterrupted production. With all work hard of employees, we need to offer bonuses or reward for meeting production target. Finally, analyze the production workflow to identify inefficiencies or delay that can make production slower. Ensure processes are consistent and standardized to reduce error. In company, we need to implement lean manufacturing principles to minimize waste and maximize productivity.